Today I'll show you how I turn pecan cuttings into trees. It's fairly easy, and I've also got a design for a new pot. Interested? Here we go. I was trimming up a pecan tree and I figured, hey, this would be a great opportunity to try out doing some pecan tree cuttings. So I'm going to show you all the steps I did. So it's pretty easy. You just start with a cutting off of a tree, and how long you're going to make it is totally up to you. I'm trying different things here. I've actually got one that's fairly tall and a short one, and a different design for a container that costs you $0 because you can make it out of something you typically throw away, a 1 liter bottle. I tried all these different steps out. I've refined them over time. I've really broken this down, simplified it so that you can save time and get some success. First thing I did is I would just select a branch or a piece of branch. I just took a box cutter and I just went around here like this and then slanted down and started peeling the layer back to the candium layer. And you can be a little rough with this because that actually helps the growth to form. Okay, and then you just go right to that notch. So I've got this cut off. There's a lot of foliage. You don't need a lot, and you want to, so I just cut all this extra down. You can see that we're actually going to have nuts this year, which is a first for us. And then I'm going to just cut down to here and probably right about there. So get all that stuff. So now you have a cutting. And then I just put it in the water like this. And here's one that I've already done. And the next thing I do is I take some root hormone. You can get this at pretty much any store, big box store, what have you. You don't want to go directly into the container of root hormone because you could contaminate it. And originally I put it in a cup like this and was trying to spread it on this way with limited success. So what I did is I actually put it in a Ziploc bag. You can see some of it right there. And the great thing about this is that if you ever wanted to use it again, you know, it's right there and it's easy, portable. I took the Ziploc bag and just kind of spread it out a little bit like this. Then I put the cutting in the bag like this. You can see it coats it up all almost like that, and it's ready to go. Kind of speed things up by making these containers in advance, but you can see that I've gone down halfway with a cut. This extra length here helps support the plant, especially if you got a long one. The way you make that is I took it in a pair of gardening shears and I made 2 cuts, and the reason why is because eventually you're going to want to get this out. And then you take a pair of scissors or a box cutter. I'll try the box cutter first, and you come up to about right there and you make a cut into the bottom like that. I just took a pair of scissors and I went up to the top of the bottle like this. You want to be about halfway up the bottle. And then you come back down the other way. You can also come down this way. And you've got your target there. And then just come up this way. And you can clean it up. And the great thing about this is now you got a great scoop for the soil. So you can clean that up. I'm going to clean that up just a little bit. Like that. Alright, and then since I don't like that curve, I'm just going to come down like this. And that's just about right. And the other thing I did is I also pre-drilled some holes in the bottom with a small drill. It doesn't really matter what size the drill bit is, for drainage. Now the mix that I'm using is half potting mix and half perlite. And I put it together, and then this is like almost like a salad. You just mix it together like this and get it into that consistency. Now you just take your soil and you put it inside your container. And fill it up right to the top of this line here, to the top of your container. All right, and then you just take your cutting here and just stick it in all the way down and make sure it's buried. So I'm going to need a little extra soil in there. Pat it down nice and good. You don't want to do that in the soil. Give it a spray of water and just let it do its thing. For smaller branches, I've just used a solo cup, drilled holes in the bottom as I did before, and I've just stuck them in there like that, and cutting the foliage back to just enough so that you can promote roots. While I've been testing out the cuttings up there, I'm also doing an air gap experiment, or sometimes they call it mark-hotting, where I've peeled back the bark, where I'm using a 2-liter bottle and a wet sphagnum moss, and you put it in here, you cut it in the middle, cut on both ends, and then I've wrapped it in plastic wrap with weather tape on either end. And then I've just got a little hole right here to drain it out. So it's damp, I'm not going to add anything more to it. Cut the branch back a little bit just to support the growth right here. So we'll see how that turns out. Compare this mark-hotting to the actual cuttings in the cups and in the 1-liter bottles and see which one's best. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. We'll see how this all works out. If you like these kind of things, please subscribe and check out my channel. I make things, I break things. I have all sorts of gardening tips, home repairs, cosplay. You just never know what you're going to see.